Are you tired of feeling manipulated, confused, or emotionally drained by someone who keeps playing games with your heart? Today, we're talking about 20 powerful, psychology-backed ways to outsmart any woman who's playing games not through revenge or cruelty, but through clarity, self-respect, and strategy. Inspired by insights from relationship expert Dr. Berman, this is about protecting your heart and standing in your power. Let's dive in. Number 1. Stop chasing clarity in places where there's only confusion. If someone constantly sends mixed signals, warm one day, distant the next, that's not something you need to decode. That is your answer. Confusion isn't romantic, and it's not a challenge to prove your worth. It's a clear sign that this person isn't emotionally consistent or genuinely interested. Real connection doesn't feel like guesswork. You shouldn't be stuck wondering what every little word or action means. When someone's into you, you won't need a strategy to interpret their behavior. It'll be clear. So stop trying to turn chaos into clarity. Let confusion be a red flag, not a riddle. Number 2, stay emotionally centered. One of the biggest traps people fall into, especially in situations involving mind games, is reacting emotionally. That's exactly what manipulators or game players want. They feed off your emotional highs and lows, your frustration, your overthinking, your anger, even your silence when it's meant to get a reaction. But when you stay calm, grounded, and centered, you completely remove their power. You're not ignoring your feelings, you're just not letting them be controlled by someone else's unpredictable behavior. You choose how you respond instead of letting someone else dictate how you feel. That's emotional maturity, and it's powerful. Don't underestimate it. Number 3, know your worth. This isn't just a motivational phrase, it's something you have to live by, especially in relationships. Your value doesn't increase when someone finally gives you attention, and it doesn't decrease when they pull away or lose interest. Your worth is not measured by someone else's opinion, behavior, or validation. It's internal, it's constant. And if you don't recognize it, you'll find yourself settling for less, chasing approval, or tolerating treatment that doesn't align with who you are. The truth is, when you really understand your value, you stop chasing people who can't see it. You stop waiting for someone to come around or realize your importance. Instead, you naturally attract the kind of respect and energy you deserve, not because you demanded it, but because you embodied it. Knowing your worth creates a filter. Anything or anyone that doesn't align with it simply doesn't make it through. Number 4. Set clear boundaries early. This isn't about control, it's about clarity. Let her know from the beginning what kind of behavior you accept and what crosses the line. Boundaries aren't walls to keep people out. They're standards that let the right people in. And once you set them, stand by them. If she tests them, whether subtly or directly, don't fold just to keep the peace or avoid discomfort. Hold the line. You teach people how to treat you by what you allow, and when you stay consistent, you build real respect. The moment you compromise your boundaries to keep someone around is the moment you tell them it's okay to ignore your needs. Don't do that. If someone respects you, they'll respect your limits. If they push past them, they're showing you their true colors. Don't explain endlessly, don't argue. Just enforce the boundary, calmly and clearly. Because when you respect yourself enough to set the standard, you invite others to meet you there or move on. Number 5, don't compete with other men. If she brings up other guys, flirts in front of you, or tries to make you jealous, recognize it for what it is. Manipulation, not connection. That behavior isn't about being open or honest. It's a tactic to provoke you to get a reaction, to test your insecurity. And the worst thing you can do is take the bait. Because the moment you start competing, you hand over your self-respect and play a game you never agreed to. You show that your sense of value depends on being chosen. But high-value men don't compete for attention, they attract it by being grounded, consistent, and emotionally stable. If someone needs to create insecurity just to keep your interest, that's not chemistry, that's control. And you don't have to prove your worth in a lineup. You simply step back and let her figure out what she really wants without sacrificing your dignity in the process. Number 6, use silence strategically. Sometimes the most powerful move you can make is no move at all. When you're dealing with mixed signals, disrespect, or emotional games, don't chase. Don't beg for clarity or try to force conversations that aren't being reciprocated. Silence is not weakness, it's restraint. It's self-control. It sends a message. I'm not here to convince you of my value. If she's genuinely interested, she'll feel that absence. She'll realize the energy shifted. And if she doesn't, that tells you everything you need to know. You don't need to argue, over-explain, or react emotionally. Sometimes the strongest position you can take is to pause, step back, and let the silence speak for itself. Not out of pride, but out of self-respect. Let her come to you or let her fade out. Either way, you win peace. Number 7, observe, don't explain. You don't need to justify your feelings to anyone who's not trying to understand them. If something feels off, pay attention. Don't argue with yourself just to keep the peace. When someone's behavior triggers doubt, distance, or discomfort, your job isn't to overanalyze or explain it away. Your job is to observe. Let her actions speak louder than our words. Watch what she does when you stop chasing, when you don't react, when you go silent. That's when you see who someone really is. Because real intentions are always revealed in quiet moments, not in promises, not in explanations, but in how someone shows up when they think you're not watching. When you observe without over-explaining, you stay in control of your energy. You stop giving people a manual on how to manipulate you, and you start recognizing who deserves access to you in the first place. Number 8, don't ignore red flags. It's tempting, especially when emotions are involved, to overlook warning signs, to give someone the benefit of the doubt, to hope they'll change, or to convince yourself that no one's perfect. But here's the truth, red flags don't go away with time, they just become harder to ignore. Disrespect, dishonesty, emotional manipulation, lack of accountability, these things don't magically fix themselves. If anything, they escalate when you tolerate them. A red flag is not a challenge. It's not a test of your patience or loyalty. It's a message. And the sooner you listen to it, the more pain you avoid. Ignoring what you see just because you feel something strong will always lead to regret. So trust what you notice. If it doesn't feel right, it probably isn't. Walk away early, not because you're cold, but because you respect yourself enough not to stay where you're not truly safe, valued, or at peace. Number 9, keep your goals in focus. It's easy to get distracted when someone's attention is inconsistent or based on control rather than genuine connection. But here's the reality, when you start chasing someone who doesn't truly respect or support your path, you risk losing sight of your own priorities. Your goals, your ambitions, your dreams, those are what define you. They're the foundation of your identity and your future. When you focus too much energy on someone who plays emotional games or uses control tactics, you pull yourself away from your purpose. You might find yourself changing your schedule, your mindset, even your values, just to fit into a dynamic that's unstable and unsatisfying. And the cost of that is high. You sacrifice your growth, your peace of mind, and your self-respect. But when you keep your goals front and center, everything else becomes clearer. Distractions fall away. Toxic relationships no longer have the power to derail you because you have something bigger guiding you. The right people will support your vision and walk with you, not hold you back or pull you off course. So hold on to your dreams tightly. Let them be your compass. Don't let anyone dim your light or make you question your worth just to keep you in their game. Number 10, don't try to fix her. This is a big one because it trips up a lot of people. It's tempting to want to solve the puzzle, to understand why someone behaves the way they do, or to believe that with enough patience and effort, you can change the dynamic. But the truth is, you're not responsible for fixing anyone's emotional baggage or inconsistencies, especially if they're not actively working on themselves. She's not a project or a problem waiting to be solved. If she's playing games or being emotionally unavailable, that's not your invitation to rescue her. It's a signal to protect yourself. Trying to decode her every move, justify her behavior, or wait endlessly for her to come around drains your energy and erodes your self-worth. It's not love, it's self-sacrifice. True connection doesn't require one person to do all the work while the other avoids accountability. You deserve someone who shows up ready to build something real with you, not someone who leaves you guessing or constantly trying to patch up their inconsistencies. Don't confuse hope with responsibility. Hope is powerful, but responsibility belongs to each individual. You can care deeply about someone and still recognize when it's time to walk away for your own well-being. Protect your peace above all else. That's where true strength Lies. Number 11. Stay grounded in facts, not fantasies. It's easy to get caught up in what you wish someone could be, especially when feelings are involved. But the key to emotional clarity is being honest with yourself about who she actually is, not the idealized version you hope she become. Too often, people ignore clear signs or red flags because they're holding on to a fantasy, a hope that with enough love or time, things will change. But hope without evidence is just wishful thinking, and it can keep you stuck in unhealthy cycles. When you focus on reality, you see the situation clearly. You recognize patterns of behavior as they are, not as you want them to be. That kind of honesty might be uncomfortable at first, but it's freeing. It protects your heart and your energy. Because when you're grounded in facts, you make decisions based on truth, not on what could be or what you want to believe. And that's the foundation for healthier relationships and better boundaries. Number 12. Call out the pattern, not the person. When you notice recurring behavior that's causing confusion or pain, address the issue calmly and without blame. Instead of saying you never communicate or you're always distant, try something like, I notice you tend to go quiet when things start to get close. This approach focuses on the behavior, not the character of the person. It invites dialogue rather than defensiveness. It shows that you're observing and expressing your experience without attacking. When you call out patterns gently, you create space for honest communication, not arguments or shutting down. It also keeps the conversation about how you feel and what you observe, which is harder to dismiss or twist. This kind of communication is a sign of emotional maturity and respect for both yourself and the other person. It sets a tone for healthier boundaries and clear expectations. And if the pattern continues despite your calm observation, that's information, not a failure. It tells you whether the relationship has room to grow or if it's time to reconsider your involvement. Number 13. Keep your options open. It's important not to trap yourself in one-sided situations where you're the only one putting in effort, attention, or care. You deserve relationships where energy flows both ways, where respect, interest, and communication are reciprocal. Holding too tightly to someone who isn't fully present or invested can drain your spirit and slow down your growth. Keeping your options open doesn't mean you're playing games. It means you're protecting your worth. It means recognizing that you have choices and that settling for less than you deserve is never the answer. When you stay open, you invite better opportunities and healthier connections. And you remind yourself that your happiness isn't dependent on one person's inconsistent attention. Number 14. Be unpredictable in your responses. People who play emotional games thrive on knowing how you'll react. They feed off your predictability. If they know that you'll always respond immediately, always be available, or always fall into the same patterns, they maintain control. But when you mix it up, when you're not always there on demand, you break the script. You show that your attention isn't guaranteed, and that you're not easily triggered or manipulated. This isn't about being cold or distant, it's about setting the pace on your terms. Be mindful, be selective, and respond in ways that keep your energy protected. When you're unpredictable in a balanced way, you shift the dynamic. You reclaim your power and create space for genuine connection, or you reveal who's truly interested in meeting you halfway. Number 15. Don't get addicted to the drama. Drama can feel exciting. The highs and lows, the unpredictability, the emotional roller coaster. But what feels thrilling in the moment often comes with a heavy emotional price. Constant chaos drains your energy, shakes your confidence, and leaves you feeling unsettled. Real love doesn't thrive in chaos. Real connection feels calm, steady, and secure. It's built on trust, respect, and emotional safety, not on drama or emotional explosions. If you find yourself repeatedly drawn to drama, pause and ask why. Are you mistaking excitement for connection? Are you confusing turbulence for passion? The truth is, peace is a better foundation than chaos. And lasting love is found in calm moments, not in constant crisis. Number 16. Know the difference between testing and toxicity. It's natural for some people to test boundaries, to push limits a little as a way to feel safe and secure. Testing can be a part of figuring out where someone stands, what's acceptable, and how much care is real. But there's a clear difference between that kind of testing and toxicity. Toxic testing is about manipulation, control, and pushing you to react or prove yourself repeatedly. It wears down your patience and self-worth. Healthy testing is honest and respectful. Toxic testing feels like emotional games. Learning to recognize which is key. When you understand the difference, you stop tolerating manipulation, disguised as tests. You set clear boundaries and protect your emotional energy. And that's how you build stronger, healthier relationships by not confusing challenges for control. Number 17. Focus on your purpose. When you have a strong sense of mission, a clear idea of who you are and what you want to achieve, it creates a kind of emotional armor. Purpose grounds you. It gives you direction beyond temporary feelings or distractions. When you're focused on your goals, your vision, and your growth, you become less vulnerable to emotional games and manipulations. You stop chasing attention just to feel validated, and instead, you channel your energy into building the life you want. That clarity makes you more attractive too, because confidence rooted in purpose is magnetic. It also helps you stay patient and discerning, recognizing when someone's behavior is out of alignment with the future you're creating. So invest in your purpose fiercely. It's the best defense against drama and confusion. Number 18. Practice radical honesty with yourself. This might be uncomfortable, but it's necessary. Take a moment to reflect. Why are you drawn to someone who plays games? What emotional need or pattern is this relationship fulfilling for you? Are you seeking validation, excitement, or a sense of worth? Are you trying to fix something inside yourself by chasing someone else? Being brutally honest about your own motivations doesn't mean blaming yourself. It means understanding your patterns so you can change them. When you face these truths head-on, you gain power over your choices. You stop repeating cycles that leave you hurt and confused. Radical honesty with yourself is the foundation of growth and healthier connections. It's the first step toward breaking free from toxic dynamics and moving toward relationships that truly support your well-being. Number 19. Make peace with walking away. This is one of the hardest lessons, but also one of the most empowering. Sometimes the strongest, most courageous move you can make is to walk away not out of anger or bitterness, but out of self-respect and clarity. Leaving a situation that drains your energy, confuses your mind, or compromises your values isn't failure, it's growth. It's understanding that your peace of mind is priceless and that no relationship is worth sacrificing your well-being. Walking away without looking back means you're not tethered to the past or caught in what-if scenarios. You're free to focus on what's next, on the possibilities that align with your goals and your peace. This kind of detachment requires emotional maturity because it means releasing control and accepting that some people or situations simply aren't meant to stay in your life. But when you make peace with walking away, you reclaim your power. You show that your worth isn't dependent on holding on. It's rooted in knowing when it's time to let go. Number 20. Play no games ever. This is the ultimate power move. Emotional games, manipulation, and mind tricks might seem like tools some use to gain control, but refusing to play those games puts you in a completely different league. When you show up as your authentic self, honest, clear, consistent, you dismantle drama before it starts. You don't need to react to manipulation with more manipulation because that only pulls you into a cycle of emotional exhaustion. Instead, you choose integrity and transparency. You set a tone that says, "I'm not here to play, I'm here to be real." That kind of authenticity is rare, and it commands respect naturally. It puts you in control of your energy, your emotions, and your boundaries. People may try to test or challenge you, but when you refuse to engage in games, you maintain your center. You become unstoppable because you're operating from a place of strength, not insecurity. And over time, this honesty creates deeper, healthier connections, or it reveals clearly who isn't worth your time. Either way, staying true to yourself is the most powerful choice you can make. At the end of the day, outsmarting someone who's playing with your heart isn't about beating them, it's about freeing yourself. The real win is peace of mind, emotional independence, and healthy love. If this resonated with you, hit like, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. You've got this.